Hey guys, it is Monday yet again. This is the 6th week, I think I've been doing these. So, how have I done? I think I've done pretty well. As I said before, changing your mindset about eating and everything, it's not linear. It's a huge roller coaster, a wave. So, one thing that I'm really proud of myself for is when I went to eat a snack, instead of grabbing the whole box or bag, I would pour some on a plate or in a bowl and just eat that, and when I was done, I was done. That's huge because I could easily polish off like a whole bag of Doritos or a whole box of Cheez-Its or something like that. And just being really conscious of when I am full. Man, have I been eating a lot of food in the past. Holy hell. And one of my viewers suggested that I get this book, and I did. The Thin Side Out by Josie Spinardi. And I thought I would go through each week until I'm done reading it, a chapter of it, and just tell you what I picked up, because I highlighted some things in the book. And I actually think, now here's the first sentence of the book. You absolutely can get and stay thin. All right. So, she talks about how, in the beginning of the book, how dieting is not the answer. Okay? And I actually think this week what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I got to set this down. I'm trying to flip the book. Wait a minute. Let me do it this way. No, it'll flip the video. I am trying to okay. One important thing that she said is you are not alone and you are not broken. I know many of us probably feel in huge despair about our weight and how we are around food. She said, it is not you, it is not your lack of willpower. You are not addicted to food or sugar or carbs. Yeah, at one point I thought I was. You know what I mean? Just because I could eat like a whole bag of something. I mean, I'm trying to flip the pages in this book and hold the phone. That may have been the only thing in the first chapter that I really highlighted. Let me see. Okay, no. Okay, so she said, think about it. If you want to learn how to do something, isn't it just common sense to copy someone who does it really, really well? She's talking about a friend who's naturally thin and who doesn't have this huge preoccupation with food. She said, dieting in no way, shape, or form resembles how naturally thin people eat or interact with food. Naturally thin people don't drink diet soda. They don't eat fat-free cookies, low carb, anything. Maybe not. It says generally they just eat what they like when they're hungry. It's not a novel concept. I mean, that's the way that we should be eating. I don't know. I think, yeah. Okay. Naturally thin people eat when they're hungry and stop when they're full. They don't eat. Now, here's an important thing, too, for me. They don't eat because the clock says it's lunchtime or they're home alone and don't know what to do with themselves. They don't eat to distract themselves from their loneliness or because they just ate too many Snickers bars, so they might as well polish off the whole bag. The emotional part of eating is probably the thing that I struggle with the most, and probably what most of you struggle with too. It's hard when you're having a stressful day. At least I know I have. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to sit down with a good dinner, glass of wine. It does. Food makes you feel better. Good food, like candy bar or cookies or whatever. That is the hard part for me, is getting past that point of having other coping mechanisms to deal with stress and despair and all of those things. So, because if you don't, let's face it, people who have weight loss surgery, that's another good point. People who have weight loss surgery most of the time gain it back, because fixing the physical is not fixing your brain. Just because you've gotten the weight loss surgery, it hasn't fixed your head. So, well, she's talking about why diets don't work. The final reason why diets don't work for long-term weight loss is they do absolutely nothing to deal with the real reasons why you would ever eat when you're not physically hungry, which is what I just said. The emotional part of it. It says, essentially, a diet is just a set of rules. Absolutely. Knowing how many calories you're allowed to eat in a day does not endow you with the ability to stay under the limit. And having a list that tells you what you can and can't eat does absolutely nothing to enable you to stick to that list. Just like with low carb. I didn't stick with it. I had a list of stuff that I could eat, and I even did MetaFast at one point, a long time ago. I want to say it was 2013. That's a really restrictive eating plan. You pick 5 meals, you eat. But I couldn't stick. First of all, I was like starving to death, I felt like, because I was only eating 700 to 1,000 calories a day. Yeah. It took me 4 months to lose 25 pounds doing that. And I was miserable. I was so hungry all the time. But if all of those things worked, okay, yeah, that was in chapter 1. If all of those things worked, we would all be thin. So, it's about getting your head straight, in my opinion. It's about paying attention. That is what it is. It's about paying attention when you are eating. Because what she says, it doesn't matter what you're eating. It matters how you eat it. As in, you don't eat 15 cookies. Unless you're hungry for 15 cookies. See, that's the thing too. I don't know. I think I'm babbling at this point. Okay, my weight last week. Now, I'm stepping on the scale really is just a formality at this point, because there are going to be weeks where I'm probably going to gain weight, I'm not going to lose weight, whatever. And this may take me 2 years. I'm fully prepared to not be losing weight all of the time. I want to just get okay with food, in my head straight. So, my weight last week was 190.2. I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to step on the scale and we'll see what's what. All right, here we go. Yeah, I gained a pound. Okay. So 191.2. Well, yeah, 191.2. And, that could be anything. Just what someone said. It doesn't mean that I've actually gained a pound of fat. What did I eat yesterday? Spaghetti for dinner. Some salty snacks. It could be anything. So, there we go, guys. 191.2. I'm a pound up. I'm just really curious this whole year to weigh myself and see where I am at the end of December. Until next Monday.